Brew Strong is brought to you by Blickman Engineering, home of the top-tier brewing stand. Visit them online at blickmanengineering.com.
Brewers, it's time for the beer radio you've been looking for. This is the show that dispels myths, tackles the toughest topics, and makes no apologies for geeking out on beer. Hosted by two guys that drink before they think, Jamil and John Palmer. This is Brew Strong.
Hey, howdy. Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters.
Greetings, cretins.
Back in the lovely studio. It feels like it's been,
Feels like air conditioned is what it feels.
Oh, yeah. Which we haven't had all weekend.
It's true.
But it feels like it's been, 48 hours since we did a show?
Yeah, it gotta be like that.
Maybe not quite that much.
Though it feels like we did a show yesterday as
It
well.
felt shorter, yeah.
Yeah. Feels like we were here just the other day. Actually, we were. No, and in between, we had a good time going up to visiting the NCHF.
Northern California Homebrewers Fest.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I'll tell you, what would be a fun trip?
What would that be?
Visiting Blickman Engineering out in...
that would be a good time. They've got...
Poughkeepsie, Indiana, I want to say.
Yeah, they got fresh corn. They got corn dogs. They got pig wrestling.
Maybe. Well, and that's why we're late getting started. You and your goddamn hot dog. You had more to eat today than I did.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here in the studio at 5 minutes to 1, ready to rock and roll.
But you make a lot of personal choices, Jamil. That
right. I suffer for my art. And you?
I am not willing to suffer.
You're not willing to suffer. You gotta go get a hot dog. Scott and I here ready to roll.
Now I am good for the next 6 hours.
You're good for the next 60 minutes if we're lucky. I know you. I've spent enough time with the Palmer here.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying, I've spent quite a bit of time with our good friend John Blickman, too.
Indeed.
I'd like to spend more time with John Blickman.
So would I. Yeah. He's a good dude.
Super nice guy. And super clever. And knows a lot about engineering, designing stuff.
Yeah. Well, as you were saying the other day, people that can't look at a problem and come up with a solution. Mm-hmm. You admire the ones that can do that, and John Blickman is definitely one of them.
Right. Yeah, one of my many rants over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get to that. We're actually going to talk about what happened this weekend. But and that's what I find cool about Blickman Engineering. And if you want to kind of check out what they're doing, you can go to blickmanengineering.com, Blickman with 2 N's, and see some of the stuff that they got available for sale and out in the marketplace. And even better yet, go check them out at the Homebrewers Conference in San Diego.
Yep,
go down there and say hi to John and his crew. All super nice people, very knowledgeable, and they even bring some nice shiny stainless steel and cool things so you can touchy-feely.
That's right.
And the cool stainless stuff, not John and his crew.
Not the hard edges.
So you're talking about John?
No, I mean, if you touch the things at the booth that are hard edges, sharp edges, then that's not John, and you're good.
Yeah, I don't know if you've touched him as much as I have, but, there you go. He's pretty rock solid. Just saying. So check them out, Blickman Engineering. They've been sponsoring this show for 7+ years. So
yeah.
I think you owe them a little bit of thanks if you like this show. People thank us all the time for the show, and I think they need to spread around the love a little bit and say, hey, these
John
sponsors,
makes it possible.
Yeah, making it possible is very cool. Don't bother thinking like Justin or Scott or any of these people. It's, the rest of them. And if you want to call in, we now take calls live. 888-401-BEER, 888-401-2337. And you can join in or join in the chat. Go to the website. You click on the chat now button and participate.
Ask questions, comment.
Can you guys imagine if this show became like Car Talk, where you didn't have to prep one bit? You just come in, just roll calls, answer questions, get out of here. I would love it.
That'd be great. When we appear in public, we get out of the limousine, we walk across the red carpet. Yeah, right. When we appear at things like the Homebrewers NCHF, people ask a lot of questions. We'll talk, and then when we open up to questions, we can do questions for hours. Everybody's got questions, and we can answer questions on any brewing topic, and
we don't mind,
and most other topics. Yeah, we actually enjoy. That's the thing. People like, hey, how about you do a talk? And I'm like, I'd be happy to show up and answer questions, but I just don't have the time to prepare a talk and slides and all that stuff. You want me to go up there and answer questions? I ain't answer questions for a couple hours. I'll do that instead of prepare a talk. So I love that sort of thing. I would love to have a show. So I'll just call in and email, chat and email and calling and filling that baby up. I could do that.
I think part of the issue is not knowing exactly. Like Car Talk airs at the same time all the time.
Right.
This show's all over the map.
We would actually have to have some consistency.
Yeah, well, we're working on it, and we're continuing to hone our methods of informing you all of when the show will air. So just keep paying attention to the website and the social media feeds, and we'll try to give you as much notice as possible.
Okay, I will.
You. Yeah, just because I was looking at you when I said it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Universal you, baby.
Okay. I thought, I thought you'd let me know when the show was going to give some notice.
No, you don't really need to know. I mean, I'll tell you after it's already aired.
Okay. Well, that works. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't need to be here. I can get a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Just download it later.
Yeah, listen to it in the car. That works. All right. Cool. We went off to. We've been doing a lot of traveling and trips and things like that, and so we thought we'd kind of recap some of that and talk about things we learned and things we did and the fun we had, because we know at least a few of you enjoy hearing about that stuff.
Yeah, here's some good stories, and we do.
Evo, please.
The reason we travel is because we like learning, and we have learned a lot recently.
Oh, I thought we liked the free perks that come with it. Mint on the pillow and all that stuff. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a short break, and when we come back, do we want to talk about what first? NCHS is its freshest in our mind?
Probably, and then we can weave in other stuff as it springs to mind.
Okay. All right. We'll be back right after this.
Tonight is the night.
We bring the creature to life, Dr. Blickmanstein?
Yes, J.P. Gore. Everything is perfect for my next fermented creation.
But, Doctor, the storm is too far away. We'll never have enough power to isomerize the creature's alpha acid.
Yes, J.P. Gore, we will. For I have in my possession the Tower of Power.
Blickman's new Tower of Power is the evolution of automation. Control hot liquor, sparge, and mash temps like a pro. The Tower of Power is a high-quality gas-fired rim system that works with your current brewing setup. With ultra-precision, the tower can hold your mash to 1/2 of a degree Fahrenheit. Precision and repeatability. The Tower of Power is the answer to automatic, fast ramp times. See more at BlickmanEngineering.com. Bring your next creation to life with the Tower of Power.
Dr. Blickmanstein, with the Tower of Power, you can probably give me an afternoon at the pub to enjoy a pint.
Don't be silly, J.P. Gore. We have beer to brew.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Hey, dude, you know what beer this is?
Oh, no, all the labels are falling off.
Yeah, or the ink has run.
Well, if it's the pale ale, you're good, but stay away from the quote-unquote Belgian.
Oh man, this guy needs to get some grog tags.
Grog tags are reusable, write-on, wipe-off, commercial-grade bottle labels for your brew. The guys at Grog Tag are homebrewers. They wanted great-looking, sturdy labels for your bottles, buckets, carboys, kegs, and growlers. They also wanted a label that not only looks good, but can be easily removed and reapplied during bottling without that nasty glue residue being left behind. No residue, water-resistant, and ice chest approved. Grog tags stay on in water or an ice chest, and they stay legible. Visit grogtag.com to customize your label or coaster from dozens of different templates for free and see how awesome your bottles can look.
It's that pseudo-Belgian.
Yeah, we're getting him some grog tags, dude.
Grog Tag. At least your beer will look good. grogtag.com.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious, Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Back to your hosts, Jamil Zainasheff and John Palmer. Putting the testicles in technical. This is Brew Strong.
All right, we're back. We're back in more ways than one. We just a day or two ago, we were here in the studio. We wrapped up our shows and then jumped in the car and raced back to the brewery. And then we met up with Chris White and Jamie, and we took Chris White's Yeasty Beastie, his 40-foot RV, amazing RV, up to the NCHF. I mean, that was quite nice that they invited us along. To,
it really was,
to ride with them, because it was great. You know, anytime you go out to a trip like NCHF, to a Homebrew Festival or something like that, you expect a lot of fun. But a big part of the fun is the trip up there and hang with your friends and
always great hanging out with Chris and Jim.
Good people, and that's a beautiful RV. Chris did all the driving, and then we had to wind through the hills.
We took a little trip through Zamora.
Well, it was Friday. And Friday afternoon going from Fairfield, east is a nightmare. I don't know. We're trying to figure out where people are going east when, like, the hills are all afire.
True.
Where they're not going to Tahoe anymore unless they're like firefighters or something. But it all still gets all backed up. So we ended up cutting through the farmland and the hills and all this, and we're
the 113 were we?
No, we did the 505. We wanted to get to the 113. We went on the 13. We wanted to cut over to the 5. We eventually wanted to get over the 20, go through the Yuba City, and got a little bit discombobulated there, and stopped at the Winco. Loaded up on way more food than we needed for the weekend.
But better too much than too little.
Yes. We don't want John to miss his hot dogs or anything.
That's right. Or the frozen burritos.
The frozen burritos. He needed his breakfast frozen burrito. So it's like nighttime. We're driving up there. It's friggin' pitch dark, little windy-ass little roads out in the middle of nowhere. And
all of a sudden you hear this, oh no!
Deer steps out in front of the RV, and not much we could do. There was an oncoming car from the other direction, and really narrow little road, and Chris just mowed him down. And that RV, I tell you, I was sitting right over the wheel on the right in the front, and that deer was right there. It just went right under that thing. It's like, Bambi gone. RV 1, Bambi 0.
Yeah, not Bambi, long-legged rat. Yeah,
right.
It's rodentia.
Chris is like, he's like, dang, he's like,
There's
you know,
nothing I could do.
was there anything else I could do? You know, could I have done anything different? I'm like, no. I mean, you know, it's just appears. There's a car oncoming to you. You know, he hit the brakes, but you know, there's not enough time to stop that big thing. You know,
he's
in
going
6 feet.
Should we go back? Should we check it? It's
Jane, I'm like,
mouth to mouth isn't going to really help much now.
And if the thing's still partially alive, how are you going to finish it off? You know, you don't want it to suffer. So what are you going to do? Like try and back up over it, or like, we could have Palmer, you know, choke it out, or you know, what's it going to be? But there were like 5 cars behind us, and there's no place to pull over. There is no turnouts or anything, especially for an RV that size. Yeah. So I'm just like, you got to keep rolling. There's nothing you can really do about it. But, you know, he felt real bad. And it's like, well, and John's like, you know, where I come from, the things are like rats. Rats with long legs.
Yeah. Hit one every 200 yards. I mean,
if you drive through the northern Midwest, you see a dead deer like every couple hundred yards. There's a dead deer on the side of the road. You know, especially certain times of year, they're freaking everywhere. And you know, in California, you know, they're not hunting as many, killing as many, and a lot of them starve to death because there's not enough for them to eat, especially during a drought period. So I'm like, you know, you killed that one. It probably means like some other one is going to survive because now there's more food for another one that would have died of starvation. So there you go.
Maybe we should set up collection centers where they could feed them to the mountain lions.
Yes. Well, you know, eventually, but no, that was quite the trauma. But we didn't slow down or stop. It kept going. We get to the campground. And, of course, the thing's pitch black. We have no idea where we're supposed to park.
Right.
And it's a small campground. I mean, you know, the spaces that they have for these things, they only have a couple of spaces that'll take a 40-foot RV.
Right.
And luckily, the lovely people organizing the thing set us up. They had roped off one of these spaces.
Drive-through
spot. And then we are, like, circling around trying to find an angle into this thing. And we're going around, and people like commenting, hooting, and hollering. Yeah. And we're circling around. Finally get the thing settled. You know, deployed all the
patio.
The patio, right. Truly, a patio, 2 slide outs, you know, got everything hooked up. And then we're like, okay.
Food.
Yeah, the Paxton dinner started at 7. We got there at like 8:30. By the time we parked and hooked up everything, it was 9.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it. There's no food left. I'm like, we'll go down anyways, and just, you know, because Palmer and I were going to stay in a cabin with Mraz.
Right.
And he had the key, and he was down at the dinner. He's like, oh, come down there. I'm like, all right, we'll go down there. So we stagger through we're listening to the voices, trying to cut through the forest and down the hill and over the river through the woods to Paxton's dinner we go. And we get there, and as we're walking down the hill, people are walking past us with trays and trays of food. And we don't want to be rude or anything, but we're kind of like, we haven't anything to eat, you know, could we, you know, like get some food, or, you know, they're all like, I'm taking all this extra food. And we're like, there's not going to be anything left for us. And we get there, and they're just about done cleaning up, and there's still some trays of food sitting on one of the tables.
Yeah, Paxton saved some for us.
So he made a ton of food. So we shovel a bunch of food onto our plates. It's cold. It's been sitting out an hour, but, you know, hey,
still delicious.
It's food. Yeah, it's still good. So we load up, and I'm thinking, you know, maybe I'll go back for seconds. Turn around, everything's gone.
Yeah,
there's nothing left. So we eat that, and we're sitting there, and I still haven't found Mraz. So I have no idea where the cabin is. I'm asking everybody, any idea where the cabin is? And they're like, oh, you know, this way, that way. And because we're we want to figure out where we're sleeping. It's starting to get late, and so we go to look at the cabins, and we're like, okay, we're looking for cabin C, right? And and we come up, we walk up to they go, oh, it's in those cabins there. All right. We walk up. Here's cabin 5. Okay, we're looking for cabin C. Here's cabin 5. You take a look at another cabin. It is cabin KK.
Yeah.
All right. There's cabin 5, cabin KK. Which way do you think C is? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pitch dark. We're staggering around.
Bumping into the trees.
Using your phones to light things up. And eventually we find C, and Mraz is not there. And he's back up. And the hike from up to down is quite a hike.
Yeah, it's a good quarter mile.
Steep. Really steep. And for fat old dudes like us, not good. But no, so we're at the cabin, and I text Mraz. I'm like, where are you? He goes, well, I'm at the RV. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. So back we go.
So, we hiked back up to the RV. We met a couple of guys at the near the cabin. One of the adjoining cabins gave me a long glass, blown glass object that could be used for many things.
Carboys is what it was intended for, he said.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. And some beer, shared some beer. Yeah. That's the great thing, NCHF. People always sharing beer, food, all that stuff.
Right.
And but we made our way back up to the RV and
ran into our friend Nico.
Nico, who's never sober when you run into him at these things. He
was having a good time.
Well, he was there when we pulled in, wasn't he?
Yeah, you're right.
With a solo cup full of wild turkey.
Yeah.
That's how that boy rolls. Solo cup full of wild turkey. But we hung out with the Greenbelt Brewers.
Right.
Had some nice beers there, and
Gold
a lot of fun.
Coast, was it?
Gold Country?
Gold Country, yeah.
Yeah.
We were there for a while.
But we got settled in. It turned out that Tasty was going to be sharing the cabin with us. Now, Tasty's snoring is legendary. Palmer's is really bad. Tasty's is legendary. And so we're going to share this cabin with Mraz, Tasty, and Palmer and I. And we get there, and Tasty has scattered hearing earplugs on all the beds.
Oh, yeah, he famously travels everywhere with earplugs. The man is self-aware.
Yes. Absolutely needed. But no, it was pretty nice, and it was good. The four of us have been friends for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
So
no worries there.
Nice to hang out together, and we had a great time. We spoke at the thing. John and I spoke, and then Chris and I spoke, and Mraz and somebody else spoke. My friend spoke, and we went around all the booths. There was apparently 590 people at this thing this year.
Yeah, 60 clubs, something like,
Yeah, lots of booths, lots of beer, lots of food.
Some of the food we had was awesome. I mean,
yeah.
Some of the beers were
some of the beers were awesome.
Yeah.
Some of them weren't. I'll tell you what. Let's take a short break. When we come back, let's talk about what we thought of the booze, the clubs, the beers, everything. And what we learned at NCHF this year.
Sounds good.
All right, back after this.
A few things happened 30 years ago.
ARPANET migrated to TCP/IP, and the Internet was born. Revenge of the Jedi was renamed Return of the Jedi and opened in theaters. Mila Kunis and Emily Blunt were born, beginning a rad fantasy in my mind.
But all of that pales next to the fact that HopTech opened its doors and began blowing homebrewers right out of their mash tuns. HopTech doesn't fuck around. Real people shipping awesome shit straight to you. Their new website is fast and easy to navigate. Or just call 800-379-4677 and let badass bitch Jade and the gadget guy Roberto blow their warm load of customer service all over you. So visit the site or visit the store in Dublin, California, and support those that support you. Get your brewing on at hoptech.com.
Nico, listen, our lawyers said that we had to do this for 1 hour, and after this, we don't have to talk to each other for 3 more months to the next meeting.
Kids, come on, let's get out of here.
I'm supposed to have more lines. I'm the professional. Hey, it's Sully.
And I'm Nico.
And we opened the 21st Amendment 10 years ago at 563 2nd Street in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park, to make great beer and have a great time doing it.
That's right, because to us, the 21st Amendment is more than just the right to make beer. It's the right to experiment, to be innovative, and just do things differently. And so now, we're putting our craft beer in cans.
That's right, cans. You can find our world-famous Hell or High Watermelon Wheat Beer at Brew for Your Die IPA in the Northeast, Northwest, parts of the Midwest, and Alaska in cans and on draft. So next time you're at your local neighborhood pub or good beer store, be sure to ask for 21st Amendment in cans.
Because everyone likes it in the can.
Tasty crack cans.
Tasty crack cans.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters, this is Jamil and John, and I love a bold, hoppy beer, one that spits resin in your face and makes you cry, Uncle. There are a lot of great hoppy beers out there, but at Heretic, we want to make something as bold, dank, and resiny as possible. We use hops at every chance we get, including multiple dry hop additions. The result is Heretic Evil Cousin. This light golden, 8% Imperial IPA has an easy malt character that helps take the edge off the massive bittering, but it takes a back seat to the in-your-face hop character. We make sure this beer finishes dry so the hops can jump out and slam you in the taste buds. If you can't get enough hoppy goodness, Evil Cousin is your cup of tea. Cheers.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. Do you like to mash using efficient fly sparging, but would like an easy way to heat your strike and sparge water? Enter the new Brewer's Edge electric mash water heater, a plug-in, anywhere, precisely controlled heater for strike and sparge water. Ditch the fumes and second burner and make mashing easy. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy the Williams way.
Back to the beer guys that make other beer guys look like wine guys. Brew Strong.
All right, we're back. I'm sure there's a little wacka-wacka going on, you know.
Oh, yeah, lots of wax.
I didn't have a chance because we were sharing a cabin, but, you know.
Right. I hated to cramp your style, but, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you gave me a cramp, man. I tell you, so it's interesting. I love going around to the different booths, and one, I get to see a lot of friends that I've known over the past, 15 plus years of homebrewing.
Right.
People from Washoe Zephyr Zymergis, the Reno. Although there was only 2 of them, Joe and Ron, there that a bunch of new faces, who never heard of me. But I used to go up there and hang out with those guys all the time. Gold Country folks were there. GBA, the Greenbelt Brewer Association, great folks. Kind of local to. The Heretic Brewery, so I see them a fair amount, and they had a wonderful booth, and food-wise, man, they had those sous vide ribs. Those were incredible.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't get one.
I missed them.
And then some other friends that had started a new homebrew club, Underground. Steve, good friend Steve and Linda, they're part of that club, and that was the thing. I mean, we tried some beers at a few booths. And I'm telling you, just because somebody's made a beer, your club should decide. It's like, is this a good beer or not before you pour it at your booth?
Yeah.
There were beers that were not fully attenuated that people were serving. There were beers that were sour and buttery that shouldn't have been, that people were serving. Beers that were phenolic that shouldn't have been.
Yeah. I remember a session beer panel that I was encouraged to go up and try, and the first one they poured me, I smelled it, and it's like, wow, this is soured. And it was like supposed to be a mild or something, but
I think I had that mild.
Yeah, it was definitely acetic aroma to it. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, maybe it's just the lines, but okay, club, bringing your stuff, your jockey box to Fest, don't have dirty lines.
Yeah, it probably wasn't the lines. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff, and a lot of them that were like, oh, this one's really foamy. It's because it's full of wild yeast. Maybe that's why it's incredibly overcarbonated.
This goes back to that palate objectivity thing we were speaking of on a couple episodes ago. Do you think they don't know that that's the case? So there's two options, right? Either they do know and they're serving it anyway
to get rid of it,
right? Or they don't know because they're unable to pick up flaws in their own beer, and maybe their fellow club members are just being too nice,
right? Or they don't know, either.
Or they don't know,
right? No, there was there was at least one club where everything was bad, and they had no clue, and they were very proud of their beers.
Yeah, do you have a lot of folks like going, hey, you got to try this, and like really excited about a bad product?
Right.
I'm sure it happens all the time.
But that's why, as soon as I saw my friend Steve pouring beer, Steve Christian, and I'm just like, oh, let's head over there.
Yeah.
And that's what I told you.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, what beer should I have? I'm like, John, just ask Steve which one he brewed. Ask him what he brewed.
Yeah,
and that's just because
beer that was
I knew it would
nice.
be fine
because he has best practices. Is that it?
He brews great beer, and then if something doesn't turn out well, he's not going to serve it to you.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we all be that way? Shouldn't we all be like, hey, that's not a perfect beer. I am not going to serve that to other people. I'm going to either drink it myself or dump it.
Yeah.
So Steve is very conscientious like that, and so you always know, hey, Steve, what'd you brew? Give me that. Hey, yeah. Oh, go ahead, fill it up. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So we actually sat down in their booth. They had some stools there. You, me, and Mraz, we sat down and
had a couple.
We tried a bunch of beers there. They had some real nice beers.
Yeah.
I was very pleased with that one. And there were other great beers there, beers that I really enjoyed. We went to Silicon
Valley Brewers or Words of Wisdom.
Words of Wisdom, yeah.
That's Susie Q's club, right? Was she there?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I saw some breasts, and maybe that was her.
What about the women they were attached to?
Yeah, possibly.
Oh, okay.
Possibly. But no, John Watson, he had come out and gotten wort from the AHA rally at Heretic.
Oh, I remember that.
And
beer,
he fermented it with some French Saison yeast. And it turned out really good. I was like, ooh, that's really nice. Well, and I tell you, that's one of the cool things about, events like this and events through the AHA.
Yes.
If you're an AHA member, you actually get a chance to participate in stuff like these rallies. The rallies are free.
Right.
So at the Heretic rally, you came in, you got 2 pints of beer for free. You got... We did a raffle with a bunch of T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah, you had some celebrities there.
That's right. I was there. No, you were there.
Yeah.
Did a Brewing Network show from there. There was the wort giveaway. So we actually gave away a 5-star cleaning kit.
Oh, yeah.
We gave away wort, which was made with the California Select Malt from Country Malt. We, so people who wanted got like 5 gallons of free wort, the 5-star cleaning kit, and then they got yeast from White Labs.
Right.
And we did a series of different yeasts that you could try. And she essentially got 5 gallons of free beer out of it.
Right. And one of them was the Saison yeast.
No, it wasn't. Apparently, John took too long and didn't get any yeast, and so he had to go buy some yeast. So he stopped by More Beer and found some, the French Saison yeast, tried that, and it turned out great.
Yeah, it was a real nice beer.
John's a really good brewer anyways, but I like that. And then they had a dice roll beer. So there's this dice thing where you roll dice and it tells you what ingredients you have to use and what amounts you have to use. And then for your hops, like amounts and hop types and how long. And you can change up. So it'll have like 11 pounds, half a pound, pound and a half. And then you have like, in this case, it was wheat malt. roasted barley and Crystal 120 or Special B. And so he chose, you could choose 11 pounds of roast barley if you wanted to, but instead he matched the 11 pounds up with the wheat malt. He matched the pound and a half up with the roasted barley and the half pound up with the Special B. And then on the hops, it's like a 5-minute addition, a 55-minute addition, and the beer turned out really well because
fermentation practice,
good brewer, he knew what he was doing and brewed good beer. I guess the guy's has opened a
I don't know. I don't remember that part.
Nano brewery in San Jose that brews 30 gallons at a time, along with a couple other guys. Consternation? Constipation?
Consternation?
I don't know. I think it starts with C. I'm so sorry I don't remember. Check out Nano Breweries in San Jose. But, I thought his brewing skill was quite good.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of really interesting beers, a lot of really good beers there. I mean, over at, what do they call them? So, Brew Mash, they had a pumpkin ale that was very nice. Yeah, well, it was very pumpkin.
Oh, the 10.5% one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was just too big for me. A little too sweet.
Yeah, but
I had English barley wine aged in Pinot Noir barrels as well.
Right, and some good beers. Some interesting beers there.
I think they were fermented well.
Yeah,
I just thought the overall impression for me was a little too sweet.
Too big.
Yeah,
but
and I don't like
the pumpkin beer is nice because so often with spice beers you get a real bitter finish from the spices.
Mm-hmm.
And this one didn't have that. It had a much cleaner finish.
Well, there was just a lot of sweetness, so I think that kind of subdued any bittering that you get from that.
Could be.
It was clandestine brewing. Is that what you're trying to think?
That's it.
Yes, thank you very much. There clandestine. I'm so sorry to everybody.
I remember that.
I can't think, but clandestine.
How does one avoid that if you want to add spices to your beer, but you don't want it to finish weird and bitter? What do you do?
I think one thing is to not boil the spices. Do a cold steep, and some more.
Well, don't add it during the boil.
Yeah.
Even if you cold steep it and then you boil that liquid, that's essentially boiling it.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing we're talking about, on cold steeping black malts.
Yeah,
I think that's a potential thing. Anyways, the AHA. I got distracted from that, but you can sign up for the AHA. You can do it from the Brewing Network site, and the Brewing Network gets a little slice of that back, and you're supporting a great organization. Does things like the AHA Rally, does the
magazine,
Zymergy magazine, does the conference, national conference, and they look out for homebrewers everywhere. So, a very good organization that does lots of cool things. And if you enjoy, gathering with other people of like minds, other cool homebrewers.
It's an organization that works for you.
Check it out. All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, more about NCHF and other things that we've been up to in the
beer world.
After this.
And now, Northern Brewer presents What If Homebrewers Ruled the World?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll follow me, I will lead you into the gallery area. Now, the first piece up for sale today is a Jamil Zainashev original, a bottle of 1997 vintage Evil Twin.
Oh, I say.
A bidding for this one-of-a-kind piece will start at £7,000. And if you'll continue to follow me, ladies and gentlemen, I can show you a rather abstract piece from Bay Area brewer Justin Crossley. It's a German Doppelbock entitled Justin's Giant Bock. The brewer's notes here indicate that this beer had excellent mouthfeel.
That's just a crazy dream. Or is it? With Northern Brewer, a thirsty nation can craft its own ale and lager for the greater good of mankind. Northern Brewer, the home of superior customer service and the finest selection of home brewing goods for the future.
Have you ever dreamed of attending the World Brewing Academy? This year, thanks to Lalamond and Danstar, one lucky brewer will make that dream a reality for free. Lalamond and Danstar invite you to enter the Beer School 2015 contest. One lucky grand prize winner will receive fully paid tuition to the 2015 World Brewing Academy web-based concise course in brewing technology worth almost $4,000. From now until December 13th, 2014, every Danstar yeast packet you use is your ticket to enter. Visit danstaryeast.com for the details and to print your official entry form. There's no limit on the number of times you can enter, so get brewing with Danstar and get your entries in to the Danstar 2015 Beer School Contest. Whether you want to build your home brewing skills or build a career as a professional brewer, this course will change the way you think of beer and brewing. Enter at danstaryeast.com and get the dry yeast advantage with Danstar and Lalamond Premium Brewing Yeast and enter to win.
Hi, I'm Jamil Zainasheff, and in addition to my work on the Brewing Network, I write the Style Profile column in every issue of Brew Your Own magazine.
Hi, I'm Sean Paxton, and when I'm not prepping for the Homebrewed Chef on the Brewing Network, you can find me writing articles on how to cook with your home brew for Brew Your Own magazine.
Greetings, cretins. This is John Palmer, and when I'm not writing for Brew Your Own, I'm reading it.
John Palmer, Sean Paxton, Jamil Zainasheff. If you love listening to them on the Brewing Network, you'll love reading their articles, tips, and recipes in the pages of Brew Your Own magazine. Join Jamil, John, and Sean 8 times a year in Brew Your Own. And when you subscribe to BYO on the Brewing Network website, half of your subscription price goes right back to the BN to support great beer and food programming. So sign up for Brew Your Own magazine through the BN website today so you can listen and read your way to better homebrew.
Hi, I'm Jason Harris, the proud owner here at Keystone Homebrew Supply. We're thrilled to be entering our 20th year of supplying this great industry. And to show you, the Brewing Network Army, how much we appreciate your support, we're offering you 10% off your first order on our website, KeystoneHomebrew.com. Just use coupon code BNARMY at checkout, and I'll get your order out the same day. My goal at Keystone Homebrew Supply has always been to have a complete supply of everything a brewer could want. When you place your order online or when you come into our store, it's our goal to have everything on your list and more. One aspect of KeystoneHomebrew.com that we're really excited about is the ability to fulfill customers' exact grain bills. Do you hate to wait? Keystone Homebrew Supply can get your precious yeast and hops to you within just one day if you live between Connecticut and Virginia, and within 2 days east of the Mississippi. KeystoneHomebrew.com. Coupon code BNARMY. I'm Jason Harris, and I approve this message.
Like the Lance Armstrong of the beer world. Except for that nut thing.
This is Brew Strong.
And doping. We don't dope.
We are dopes. Yeah. We just don't dope.
Right.
Yes, we got enough dope in us already. If you mean stupidity.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I tell you, people just get stupid drunk at that thing, too.
Some. Yeah, some.
Oh, I thought we were quite restrained.
Well, yeah, and I think I don't want to get the wrong impression about Fest. I mean, by and large, the vast majority of people are having a good time. Mm-hmm. Mildly inebriated. Just right. They're having fun, but the ones that really get blasted are few and far between.
Yeah, and they don't do that often. I think you do it once, and then you learn that it's more of a marathon. It's a great event. I mean, you go up Friday, you can partake in this beer dinner cooked by Sean Paxton, and then you hang out with everybody, and all the clubs kind of gather their people together, and you go by their campsite and just say, "Hey, how you doing? You got beer?" And you drink beer and share beer.
Oh yeah.
Just wander around, and then in the morning they set everything up again, and they got a bunch of booths around there, from 11 till late, and then everybody's got food, everybody's got beer. They do talks on the stage. They have raffles. They have a keg toss. They got all sorts of cool things going on, and then people go off to their camps. We went off and we all cooked hamburgers on Chris White's little grill there, and
10 in the evening last night.
Nico from Nico Brew came and hung with us.
Yeah,
and
he had some smoked
and,
salmon and stuff.
Yeah, and we made some cheeseburgers and enjoyed that. And then John and I went back to the cabin, went to bed, and then
well, it wasn't staggering, more like skipping through the woods.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we travel through the woods. Yeah. Holding hands, skipping. It was great. And then in the morning, everybody kind of, breakfast, cleans up, and then rolls out of there.
Yeah.
They've been doing 17 years, something like that?
15. It was 15 the 15th anniversary.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's a fantastic event. Absolutely fantastic. If you're a home brewer or pro brewer anywhere in the range of Northern California, there were people who came from Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
5.5 hour drive.
Yeah, Reno,
and,
Oregon.
Come on down and, join in each year. I think they're trying to increase the capacity. Yeah. It used to be just a few hundred people could go. Now they've upped it. So just fantastic. And, I would say this. It is a very, respectful, well-run, controlled, not controlled, but everybody that attends doesn't get out of control.
Right.
Each
it's a very relaxed,
friends talk and say, hey, maybe you ought to slow down a little bit or something like that. But there's no, you don't feel like anybody's, harshing your mellow or keeping you from having a good time. But somehow everybody kind of makes sure that nobody gets out of control and, no fights and no, people being obnoxiously rude, or there's nobody trashing anything. Nothing like that happens. It's a very mellow, wonderful camping beer experience.
Yeah, there's dogs and children running around.
Right. Yeah, people bring their families. Yeah. So I think
it's a good time.
Yeah, it has been. Every time I've gone, I've been impressed. I haven't been able to go for the past few years, but really glad I got a chance to go this year again.
Yeah, me too.
It's especially great when somebody else drives.
Yeah.
Somebody else pays. I pretty much was a leech this weekend. I paid for coffee this morning,
which was very nice.
It was. How'd it feel?
It felt like it was out $25.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not so fun being a human being, is it?
Right.
Leech is a better way to go.
There you go. Yeah. Well, and I just a few weeks ago did a trip to the UK.
Oh yeah, I'm headed there this fall myself.
Oh, it's fantastic. First off, I love the UK. I could live there, no problem. That is just a great place to visit, great place to go. We were going for the Great British Beer Festival. I went with.
I've always wanted to.
I was going for that and doing some pint nights and stuff like that because we're distributing in the UK now. And so my friend Travis, he joined us.
Oh,
and then my daughter, she went with us too. She's out of school, so she was like, "Yeah, I go." Cool. So we actually went to Cardiff first and went to the Doctor Who experience. She's a big Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
And that was cool. And Cardiff is a wonderful town. There's just a lot to see, and it's a great walking town. Lots of great beer, and the people.
Is that very
super
far from
nice.
London, or where is that?
It's like a couple hours by fast train.
Oh.
Maybe 4 hours by slow train.
Okay.
Yeah, you just grab a train out of Paddington, and there you go.
Oh, wow.
Nonstop out to Cardiff. And then we went to Bristol and a small bar and did a pint night there. And that's a great town, too. I wish we could have spent more time there. And then into London for GBBF, which was quite interesting as well.
Now, what do you mean when you say pint night? I mean, is it something different than just your typical pint, or
same thing? Same thing. Pint night means out here.
Okay, just checking.
They put on a bunch of your beers there at a given place, and then they tell people you're going to be there, and then you show up, and people come and drink your beers, and you talk to them.
Oh, you're serving Heretic beers there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And we had pint night at King's Arms, I think it was, and events in London as well. And the greatest thing for me in London was actually I got to meet up with the London Amateur Brewers group.
Oh, yeah.
And I just emailed beforehand. I'm like, hey, if you got anything going on, you mind if I tag along? And they're like, oh, well, we'll set up the thing. And they set up at this brewery called Sam Brooks. And they brew, GBBF award-winning best bitter called Wandel, and super nice brewers there. They brewed all day and then stayed there till midnight or so.
Oh, wow.
So the homebrewers could come in and drink for free.
Nice.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah. They got a really nice tasting room upstairs, and the brewers stayed and poured beer for everybody.
Wow.
They're exhausted. They've worked a long day, and here they are. But Sean, their head brewer, wonderful guy. Really hit it off with him. Really great guy, and very interesting. And we're looking at doing a collaboration together in the future.
That'd be good.
But just had a blast out there, and the London Homebrewers thing was tremendous, absolutely tremendous. That was great.
See, I can't hook up with them,
but they took full advantage, or at least some of the people took full advantage of the free beer, and some of them were in quite rare form. Well, actually, one of them could not get in the taxi. The taxi wouldn't let him in.
Oh, really?
Because they're like, nah, you're not going to vomit all over my taxi. Taxis in London, that's a serious profession.
Oh, really?
I mean, you actually have to study for years. You need to get licensed. You need, it is, respectable. It's not like out here where it's like, well, wherever you've come from, as long as you can turn the wheel, that's fine. You have to. There, you actually need to know where everything is. You need to, behave as a professional. You need to, a lot of little things. And so, it's completely different. So, they weren't too pleased about that, I think. But no, just a wonderful time. We went to Beavertown Brewery. We got there's a American UC Davis student who was there doing an internship, and he invited us to come out, and went out there and met the owner of the brewery and their head brewer, and that's another thing. So they had their head brewer was a woman.
Oh,
and not that would in itself would be significant, but then at Sam Brooks they had a woman brewing, and a couple other places I'm like, they got women brewers and they don't think anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
Why in this country here? It's greatest country on earth, and we don't have as many women brewers. I met more women brewers in 2 weeks in England than I have in the U.S. forever.
It's unusual.
Kind of sad state of affairs. Although I guess we're getting more women brewers. Here in the U.S., but I'm just like they're just like whatever. It's not a big deal. Here I feel like it's still a big deal. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're not wrong, and it's just because people make a big deal out of gender and race and class, and it's just I don't know why. Right. Excellence should be the issue, right?
Exactly.
How's your beer?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just love the UK. And then we spent 3 days in Paris. My daughter wanted to go to Paris, and after spending, we were there for 2 weeks, and so nice. Every day was beer and drinking beer and going to the pub, and so she's very tolerant to go with Travis and I, and just drink beer all day and go to pub after pub. And Travis is like, hey, there's another pub. I'm like, so what we ended up doing was like, I asked my daughter where she wanted to go.
Right.
We head there, and then there's pubs everywhere. So, once we get there and we're like, okay, well, let's take a break, we'd whip out our phones and be like, okay, what's the nearest great pub? And there's apps for that, a tenth of a mile that way. We'd walk over there and go, oh, yeah, great pub, and have a bunch of beers.
Nice.
So, it was a blast.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to my time there. It'll be in November.
Right.
I'm going to be on my way to to Norway. We're going to Trondheim and a small island shortly nearby for their annual Christmas beer competition. And I'll be helping judge some of their Christmas beers, and giving a talk probably on water. And I'm really looking forward to that. So I've always had a lot of good emails, good questions coming from Norway. Mm-hmm. Big homebrewing scene up there. And
have you ever been to England before?
I have not. I mean, I've been through Heathrow once before,
mm-hmm.
and was able to grab a pint and some fish and chips. But
there's a Gordon Ramsay pub in Heathrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, who's Gordon Ramsay?
Oh, please.
I know who he is.
You freaking savage, you.
No, I do know who he is. I mean,
yes.
He's been on Top Gear, I think.
He has. I actually said a pretty decent time. Although I think Simon Cowell was actually one of the fast ones.
Yeah. I love that Rowan Atkinson had the record there for a while.
And Norway, you've been there before?
Nope, never been to Norway. One of the countries I always wanted to visit.
How long are you going to be in Norway?
3-4 days.
Wow! So you're doing 3 days in London,
mm-hmm. and then
3 or 4 days in Norway, and then you're bombing on back.
Then come back, yeah.
Yeah. See, I can't do that. I cannot do that.
Yeah. Well,
I get there. I don't want to.
Thanksgiving.
I don't want to leave. That's my thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going unless I'm taking family with me.
Yeah.
I have decided that I see so little of my family as it is.
Right.
I'm not freaking going anywhere unless one of them goes with me. And I'd love to take them all with me every trip. And if I can take my family with me, hey, I'm willing to travel anywhere in the world you want us to go. We're going. Yeah. No problem. My family loves traveling, so
that's good.
And they're not that picky about where we go. We love traveling together. So it's like we're talking about on our trip with Chris White and Jamie.
Right. Just nice hanging out.
Yeah, the best part of it is traveling together and getting time to talk and just to be together and experiencing things like mowing down a Bambi with your RV.
Then we got into sheep shearing after that.
Right. No, we figured that entire front end of the RV was caved in, broken fiberglass, and all
busted
that.
Headlight.
Yeah,
No, but it was okay.
It pushed in the headlight.
Yeah, it kind of changed the direction.
Kind of out of alignment, and then
there's some brown substance on.
There was a scrape on the. We figured it was the hooves. And Jamie was like, "No, that's like wood." I'm like, "That could be poo." I don't know. I asked her to taste it. She didn't say she wouldn't taste it. So, but no, the RV took it. Man, no problem. I'm telling you, RV 1, deer 0. That thing went under and barely. It was a pretty smooth ride over the top of a deer. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, compared to the 505.
Nice suspension. Yeah. I think if we hit that in my RV, the RV would be like deer 1, RV 0, or maybe it would have been tie at best. Would have collapsed the whole thing. Speaking about hammering a deer, have you checked out AdamandEve.com recently?
DEAR. Hammering your deer.
If you like to hammer the deer, check it out. They've got lots of accessories to make your deer hammering ever so more enjoyable.
Right.
And what you do, for limited time only, use the offer code Jamil, Jamil. Use my name. At AdamandEve.com. You should try it at every website you go to, but AdamandEve.com especially. And what happens is, pick one item, put it in your shopping cart, use that offer code Jamil, and you get that one item at 50% off.
50.
That's all the money you're parting with.
That's right.
You're going to get free shipping. You're going to get a free extra gift. And you get to choose 3 free extra DVDs. Adult DVDs from genres such as anal, amateur, Asian, big breasts, big butts, bisexual, chunky co-eds, fetish, gay, interactive POV, lesbian, MILFs, whirlpooling, dry hopping, etc.
And Bambi.
And deer drilling, deer hammering. You can even search deer hammering on your mobile phone. You could go to what other kind of phone do you have? Does anybody use any other phone now?
No.
You can go to AdamandEve.com on your phone, enter that offer code Jamil, Jamil, and get the 50% off, and then that's it. Everything, all that other DVDs, shipping, extra gift,
all free.
All free. You can't beat it. That is a smoking offer. So check it out. Check it out today, Adam and Eve.
It's really too bad that I'm the only one with the view of Bevo's "I'm not amused" look. You guys have to crane your necks, but I just get to look right at it, and it's just so adorable.
Yeah, it's so adorable because she can do whatever she wants over there. I am not going to stop doing what I do, which is be rude and
crude and vile.
Yeah,
I appreciate that about you.
Right. I'm me. I'm not going to change. Yeah, Jamie gave me that look multiple times.
Jamie's is pretty good, too. Right. Yeah, she's got a good one.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yes. Well, that's how it goes. That's how we roll.
Yep.
Palmer kind of gives me that look, too, every once in a while. It's like, well,
I try to coach in the benign, tolerant kind of look.
Right. It's kind of like... the priest,
the fond uncle looking at his nephew.
The fondling uncle. That's what it looks like. That's that look in your eye. I remember that from camp. That's why I was so scared this time. All right, if you enjoy the show, why wouldn't you? Check out BlickmanEngineering.com and our fine sponsors as well, Adam and Eve, and the Brewing Network store, BrewingNetwork.com/store. Lots of goodies there that you can buy, add to your RV. That will enhance your travels. So check it out, thebrewingnetwork.com/store. Thank you to David Bradstrom and all the other people running the NCHF. We had a great time.
Had a great weekend. Thanks.
And we'd love to come back.
We would. Yeah.
All right. Till then, brew strong, everybody.
Brew strong.